have Dr. V. Ananda Deepak with the theme Decoding Clinical Research Insights and Opportunities on a Global Scale. Then we have Dr. Aniruddha Yashwant Jadhav with the theme Good Clinical Practice. And sorry for the inconvenience, Mohammad Gayu Khan won't be able to come today and join us for the meeting, but he'll surely be present for the meeting later on and will talk on the theme Comprehensive Career Paths in Clinical Research for PharmD. Society of Clinical Research and Medical Professionals Pharmacy Wing Student Forum was founded in 2024 with the aim of being gateway to excellence in pharmacy and clinical research. I'd like to introduce you all with the members of Society of Clinical Research and Medical Professionals. Can we have the slide, please? We have Dr. Sumanta Mondal as the National President. We have Mohammad Gayur Khan as the General Secretary and CEC member. We have Hemant Gawande as the Elect President Industry Wing and CEC member. We have Dr. Rajiv K. Singh as the Director of Outreach. We have Dr. M.J. Rajanand as CEC member. Dr. Devar Konda Krishna Prasad as CEC member, Dr. Bharat Raj as Event Chairperson, Morizul Haq as Event Co-Chairperson, Adya Pasi as an Organizing Secretary, Dr. Atul Hari as Convener, Vivek Raj Maheshwari as Co-Convener. Myself, Atifa Ahmed, as Local Organizing Committee member and a third year B.Pharm student from Delhi Pharmaceutical Science and Research University, will be the host for today's event. Without any further delay, I'd like to call Janvi Mahesh Katkar for sharing the vision.
Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Hello everyone, myself Janvi Katkar. Today I am here to tell you in brief about the vision of our society. The Society for Clinical Research and Medical Professionals is a registered society in Telangana, India, and dedicated non-governmental organization committing to advancing the field of clinical research and supporting medical professionals. This is established with the goal of fostering innovation, education, and collaboration. Our society serves as a hub for researchers, healthcare providers, and medical practitioners. We strive to enhance the quality of clinical research, promote ethical practices, and ensure that medical professionals are equipped with the latest knowledge and tools to improve patient care. Through workshops, seminars, and various initiatives, we aim to create a thriving community that contributes significantly to the advancement of medical science and the betterment of global health and life science industry. The vision of our society is to be a leading organization in advancing clinical research and pharmacy practices, improving patient care and healthcare outcome globally, and to foster innovation, collaboration, and excellence in clinical research and pharmacy, providing education, resource, and advocacy for healthcare professionals and researchers. Thank you.
Thank you, Janvi. Now we have Deepak to read the mission statement. Can we have Deepak?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Myself Deepak Kumar Punna, currently pursuing Form 50 year from KVK College of Pharmacy, Hyderabad. The main mission of our Society of Clinical Research Professionals and Medical Professionals is to enhance collaboration among researchers and medical professionals for better global healthcare outcomes, to educate and resource educate professionals, to promote ethical and innovative clinical research and pharmacy practice, and to provide clear guidance insights into comprehensive career opportunities in clinical research both domestically and internationally to enhance education or knowledge for the participants on essential aspects of clinical research including both clinical practice, medical writing and manuscript creation, navigating the required challenges like regulatory and ethical considerations in clinical trials by providing attendee with knowledge to navigate these complex areas and to provide for the professional growth, equip participants with the skills and knowledge necessary for effective clinical research practices, aiding in their professional development and advancements. Throughout with our speakers will have interactive sessions in the conference, seek to inspire and people pharmacy professionals to excel in the clinical research. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak. Also, I'd like to introduce you all with the day 2 speakers, like introduction. We have Dr. Aparna Matpati for the theme Medical Writing in Clinical Research, Crafting Effective Documents. Then we'll be having Dr. Devashri Vijayabalan with the theme Manuscripts. And we have Devraj Mukhopadhyay for the theme Regulatory Riddles and Ethical Pathways, a clinical trial symposium. Okay. Also, I'd like to inform all the attendees that a feedback form will be shared in the team chat box at the end of the day 1 as well as at the end of the day 2. Filling both of the forms are mandatory and a minimum 40-minute presence is mandatory for a certificate eligibility. If you have any questions for the speaker, kindly write in the chat box. They will be taken at the end of the lecture. I hope everybody is fine with that. Now, can we have Aisha Nasir to explain us about the membership?
Hello, I hope I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello everyone,
Yes.
I am Aisha Nasir. I am a Central Executive Council member. I am a 4th year PharmD student from Sultanul Ulum College of Pharmacy, Telangana. I will be talking about the different types of memberships we offer as well as our newly launched magazine. So to start off, in order to join the Society of Clinical Research and Medical Practitioners, you simply need to register on the website, log in through our website portal and choose the type of membership you want and which best suits your needs. So the different types of memberships we offer are the student annual membership for 400 rupees, the student life membership for 950 rupees, the faculty life membership for 1500 rupees, industry life membership for 2450 rupees, the institutional membership for 18,000 rupees and the doctor's life membership for 3,500 rupees. So lifetime members will have exclusive perks and benefits such as access to internships in pharmacovigilance and medical writing through our collaboration with Novo Evidenza. Lifetime members will also be able to publish their manuscripts free of cost in our journal. And that is the process for the membership. So now I'll tell you guys a little bit about the perks, the benefits, and the reasons to join. So I'll share file. Just a minute. So starting off with the perks and benefits of joining, is the file visible?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one is you'll get access to the free subscription to our health magazine as well as our journal, which is called Pesquisa Editora Journals. So the Health Kingdom magazine is our quarterly magazine, which is published by the society, and You can also access our first issue of our magazine called Pharmacillin, which is active on the homepage of our website. The second perk is that you'll get a subsidized fee. So, for any of the seminars, webinars, summits, or conferences which are conducted by SCRMP, the members will get a 30 to 50% discount on these events. And if you publish your book with Pesquisa Editora, you'll get a 30% discount as well. The third perk is accessibility. So, while being a part of the society, you will get a chance to delegate and be a part of the elections and nominate candidates from your college as well. You can also get an opportunity to bring changes at a local level by improving the public health opportunities through our organization, by organizing corporate events and healthcare events as well. Not just that, you'll also get access and you'll get to network with not just national professionals but also international professionals. The third perk is career guidance. So for the members, you will get assistance in placements, in medical writing, scientific writing, in publishing papers, and for overseas consultation, you'll get a 50% waiver on the consultation fee as well. The last perk is to refer and earn. So our society has its own medical publishing house, which basically means if you sell our journal outside India to any other university, you will get 30% of the amount which is received. And in addition to this, we also have a paid book publication plan, which starts at 10,000 rupees, and members get a 30% discount. Now we'll talk about the reasons to join the society. So there are 11 reasons. And the first one is networking. You're not just joining a society through our membership, you are getting to be a part of a community of passionate professionals. So you'll get to network with not just students but industrial professionals, academia, faculty, and through this you can help with career growth. The second one is leadership. So you can be a part of our board of members and help in organizing different events and taking decisions for our magazines and overall growth of clinical research. Third reason to join is community drive. So the student forum engages in conducting health awareness campaigns, blood donation drives, medical campaigns in schools, and we also work towards environmental causes. So it will give you an opportunity to volunteer and build a career profile. The fourth one is internship opportunity. As mentioned previously, we have an agreement with Novo Evidenza. So you can get an internship opportunity in medical writing, and in the upcoming days, we will also have signed more MOUs with various other clinical research organizations, and you will get access to more internships in pharmacovigilance, in scientific writing, and health economics and outcome research as well. The fifth reason to join is you'll get an opportunity to interact with faculty, and also you can get guidance on exams such as GPAT and overseas examinations as well. We have a separate team called the advocacy team, which will help you in guiding you for interviews and career guidance. And this team consists of subject experts, which can help you in professional growth. The sixth reason to join is abroad admission consultancy. So our society provides a 30 to 40% discount for members on the admission fee in international universities, and we also help in profile building, in publications, and we help students select countries with desired universities, and visa interviews and letter of recommendation writing. All of this is helped by the society professionals as well. The seventh reason is Health Kingdom, and this is basically coming back to our magazine, which you can avail on our website homepage. The next edition of the magazine is going to be releasing in December, so stay tuned for that. Coverage on website is basically the registered members' profile as well as their photo will be added to the website, and you can get coverage on our website through membership. The ninth point is free publication. As mentioned earlier, members can publish their manuscripts free of cost in our journal, Paspisa Editora Journal, and conference waivers as well. So the conferences and webinars which are going to be conducted by our society, members will get a waiver on these fees. Now these last two slides are the news outlets which cover major events which go on in our society. So these are the links for that. I hope it's clear now that how you can register, log in, and create a membership account, get a membership, and don't miss out on these incredible opportunities. Join our society today and make the most of everything we have to offer. Back to our host.
Thank you, Aisha. Now, before our speaker, I would like to check whether the attendees are actually attentive or not. So we'll conduct a question answer type, like a quiz type. I hope everybody is ready for it. Okay, I think everybody is ready. Let's begin with the very first question. It's based on clinical trials, I'd say. So our very first question is, in which phase of clinical trials is the primary objective to evaluate the efficacy of a drug in a larger group of patients? Can we have the answers?
Phase 3, ma'am.
Very good. May I know your name, please?
Sai Vaibhavi.
Okay, we'll carry out with the second question. At what phase of clinical trial is the optimal dose and frequency of administration typically determined? Can we have
Phase
the
one.
answers?
Phase 1, ma'am.
Phase 1.
Phase 0.
No. Phase 1 is not the correct answer. I'll repeat the question.
Phase 0.
No. At what phase
Phase
of clinical...
2A, ma'am.
Yeah, that's right. May I know your name again?
Yeah, myself Sai Vaibhavi, ma'am.
Okay. We'll continue with the question 3. What is the primary objective of phase 3 clinical trials? We have the option as following. Option A, to identify severe side effects of the drug. Option B, to determine the maximum tolerated dose. Option C, we have to confirm the drug's effectiveness in larger population. And option D, to monitor the drug's long-term effects.
Option C, ma'am.
Option C.
Okay. Yeah, option C is the correct answer. That is to confirm the drug's effectiveness in a larger population. Very good. I see like you are very attentive with the questions. Then we have question number 4. Question number 4 is, which phase of clinical trial is also known as the post-marketing surveillance phase?
Phase 4.
Phase 4, ma'am.
Phase
Very good.
Phase 5.
Phase 4.
Phase 4, not phase 5. Okay, very good. The last question. Which of the following is not a key component of informed consent in clinical trials? The options are explanation of the purpose of study, description of the risk and benefits. Option C is guarantee that the participant will receive the experimental treatment. And option D, information on the participant's right to withdraw from the study at any time.
Option C.
Option C.
Option C.
Very good. Very good. Okay, we are done with the question. Now, wait a second. Wait a second.
Ma'am, one more question, please.
Okay, let me frame it then. Give me at least 2-3 seconds. Okay. Uh, 1 second. Okay, we have the question number 6. During which phase of clinical trials is the efficacy of drug typically first evaluated in patients?
Phase 3.
Phase 2.
No. Yeah, phase 3. Sorry, phase 2. Who was the one, that person?
Sugar, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Then we have 1 second. Okay, in another question. In which phase of clinical trials are healthy volunteers typically used to assess pharmacokinetics as well as dynamics? Very good.
Phase 1.
Okay, very good. We are done with the questions. Now we'll have the speakers. You guys have to wait for some time. Dr. Ananda Deepak will be joining us by 6:50 for the theme Decoding Clinical Research, Insights and Opportunities on a Global Scale. So till then, we'll wait, okay?
Am I audible, Atifa?
Yes, Dini, you are audible.
Okay, so since you guys were so interested in question answers, I got some more. I think we can do like 2-3 more till 6:40, 6:45, and then you guys can take a 5 to 10 minute break. So,
Yeah,
are you
I
guys
guess this will
interested?
be-
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, I've just found out these questions. Okay. These are not vetted by me. Okay. The ethics of human experimentation have been outlined by by except means कि इनमें से ethics of human experimentation किसमें outline किया गया है? एक में नहीं किया गया है, बाकी तीनों में करा गया है. Okay, your options are A, the WHO Declaration of Helsinki, Helsinki, the India in the ICMR guidelines, the CDSO in its GCP guidelines, and D, the US FDA in its GCP guidelines.
WHO. WHO.
Yes, that is correct. Okay. So another question. Methodological landmarks in clinical trials include A. Use of placebo as a control. B. Randomization to remove bias in assignment. C. Masking of treatment identity to remove bias in assessment. D. All of the above.
All of
All
these.
of the above, ma'am.
That is correct. Okay. Let us do one more. We can do two more questions. Okay. Next question. Which Which of the following would you most often associate with phase 4 trials? Human pharmacology, A. B. Therapeutic use, C. Therapeutic confirmatory, D. Therapeutic exploratory. Do you want me to repeat the options?
Yes, ma'am. Please repeat the option.
Therapeutic use, ma'am.
Yes, therapeutic use. That's the right answer, Sai. Okay. We'll do a last question, okay? Let me see. Okay, the last questions. All is true about clinical trials of drugs except A. They are interventional studies. B. They are experiments. C. They can be prospective or retrospective. D. They usually have either parallel groups or crossover design. So which one is false out of this?
Prospective or retro?
That is also correct. Very good, Sai. Okay, that was the last question. Now the speaker will be. Okay, by that time I'll try and share the website so you guys can see that. Wait. Is the website visible to everyone?
Yes. Yeah, ma'am.
So this is our website, and so I'll open the services page for everyone. So I'm going to show you all our magazine. Okay, this is our magazine. This is a message from our editor-in-chief and Asu Manchanda. He is a senior of mine from Dipsiru only. The magazine has been newly launched. These are the brilliant Central Executive Council members. You heard from Aisha and Janvi. So we present a lot of different articles in the magazine written by our members, and they're great writers, and they try to write about the most emerging topics. Like we have seen gene editing technology here. So if you wish to download the magazine, please do visit our website and download it. We have also written about the different kind of innovative products that have come in the market. It will help you, especially if you're trying to crack an exam, or if you're just trying to get more knowledge about your field as well. Because a lot of time, not everyone has time to filter through the news and read every article or every formulation that comes out. So subscribing to such magazines is a good way to stay updated. I think that is the magazine. Okay, so I think the screen has been stopped sharing. Guys, now we'll wait for the speaker and we'll start at 6:50. Dr. Deepak, if you're ready, can we start?
Yes, we can go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, good evening to all of you. I am Gumi Baveja and I am your co-host for the day. I am a local organizing committee member from SCRMP and I'm also a third year student from Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research University. I would like to wish a very good evening to all the attendees, SCRMP executives, fellow LOC members, and before we wait anymore, I'd like to start the event. So I'll start the event by introducing our very brilliant speaker. Okay. So I would be honored to extend a very warm welcome to our next speaker for the day, Dr. V. Ananda Deepak. He's a highly experienced public speaker in the field of clinical research fundamentals. He is an entrepreneur, a clinical trials manager, an online clinical research tutor. He is also a patient advocate. He also shares his knowledge on his Instagram page @beinganandvg, where he has amassed over 1400 listeners. Today he is here to share with us various insights on clinical research and various growth opportunities in the field. On behalf of SCRMP, I'm grateful to host you, sir, and I'm very excited to hear from you. Over to you, sir.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My intro was perfectly drafted. Thank you, Bhumi, for that. And thank you all for being here today. It's truly an honor to present in front of such a brilliant audience at Society for Clinical Research and Medical Professionals Symposium. Let me share my screen. Please give a confirmation, guys. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this evening at my session, we are diving into a topic that not just crucial, it's downright exciting, I promise. Decoding clinical research, insights and opportunities on a global scale. They say clinical research is like the ultimate detective story, where the bad guys are the diseases and we are the Sherlocks, armed with the data, ethics, and obviously a lot of caffeine. And now I know clinical research might not sound like the wildest adventure, but stick with me, it's a lot more exciting than it sounds, especially when we consider its potential impact on healthcare worldwide. Alright, let's do a quick self-interactive exercise prior to the session. So, think about these terms: research, study, and trial. What's the difference between them? Go ahead, take a moment and answer it in your mind. I will give you 10 seconds. Okay, got your answer? Well,
What's the study?
okay, well, if you're thinking they are all the same, you're absolutely right. In our field, these terms are often used interchangeably to describe the systematic investigation of a subject. Now, here's another one for you. Okay. Drug, medicine, and investigational product. Are they same? Take 10 more seconds, think about it.
Hello.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Drug means, sir, any like active pharmaceutical ingredient,
Okay, you
and
can
medicine is
just
a
you
combination.
can think within yourself. I will reveal the exact meaning of it. Just you can self-evaluate yourself. I will be explaining it in detail. So my questions of are they same? But
No, sir.
actually they are not the same. Let's
Sir,
break it down. Drug is something that a raw form of chemical constituent with therapeutic, diagnostic, or prophylactic effect. You can think it as a ingredient that has potential effect on humans. When it comes to medicine, the drug gets processed and developed into a dosage form like a tablet or injection. It becomes a medicine. This is what we typically use to treat conditions. Finally, when we talk about an investigational product, we are referring to an pharmaceutical form of medicine, placebo, medical devices, diagnostics, or palliative product that being tested in a clinical trial. So while these terms might seem similar, each have their specific roles in the world of clinical research. And now coming on to our session. I have got 4 key agendas lined up for us today, and I promise to keep things interesting. And the exciting part is all of the upcoming slides will contain data points that show real world proof or small research backing up each topic we discuss. So it's not like I will talk about the importance of clinical research, but I will show you the facts that prove it. Okay, let's get started.
Sneha, mic on of this. You are not audible, sir.
Okay, someone muted me instead, I guess. Okay, now let's talk about how the magic works. Can you see my screen?
No, sir.
Okay. It shows like only meeting organizers or presenters can share. I'm not able to share my screen. Can you give permission, guys? There is some technical issues, I guess. Bhumi, can you check on it?
Well, I'm trying, but I do not have the permission to.
It shows only meeting organizers can share.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to correct it.
Previously, it was working.
Yes, sir. I don't know if. Wait a minute. Sir, if you can, please join again. I think there is some issue.
Okay, I will join again. Wait a second. Still, I'm not able to share my screen.
Sir, you can share your PPT with me in my WhatsApp. I will share it.
Meanwhile, try to solve this technical issue and just
Okay.
Morsi, sir.
Okay, sir. I'll be sharing shortly.
okay.
Morsi, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Sir, I have sent you a text, sir.
Okay. I'll do that.
It will be convenient for me if I share from my system itself. If you can solve the issue, it will be better.
Hello, sir.
Okay, now my sharing option is
Now
on.
you are, I think now you are able to skin the share.
Yes, I'm able to share, I guess. Can you see my screen, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It is.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So let me start with the same
Let's
slide.
start.
Let's talk about how the magic happens. In the ever evolving world of healthcare, developing new treatment isn't just important, it's essential. Imagine healthcare as a buffet. You would not want to eat the same thing throughout your life, right? It may vary depends on your mood, your environment, and unluckily based on your health condition. The same goes for medical treatment. We need a variety of medicines that acts for specific conditions, innovation, and yes, sometimes even a little bit of risk taking. According to the FDA, over 50% of recent new drug approvals are related to innovative approaches like biologics and gene therapy. So, if you're ever feeling adventurous, you know where to look. It's clinical research and not the buffet menu. Now let's talk about testing. You would not buy a car without taking it for a test drive, right? Well, the same goes for treatment. Clinical trials are like test drives, but instead of checking the comfort, we are making sure the treatment doesn't, blow up the engine, ensuring the safety and efficacy of treatment. The average cost to develop a new drug is 2.6 billion. That's right, billion with a B. So next time you wonder why medicine can be expensive, just remember there is a whole army of researchers, engineers and statisticians working hard to ensure that little pill won't cause more problems than it is. Under tailoring therapies in our globalized world, definitely one size does not fit everyone, especially in healthcare. Imagine trying to wear a shoe size of 5 for all. It will be too small and uncomfortable, right? Well, the same goes for medical treatment. Healthcare professionals like healthcare professionals are like skilled tailors, adjusting and fitting treatment to the unique need of each patient. According to the WHO, personalized medicine isn't just a buzzword, it's a game changer. By tailoring treatment to specific population, we are not just improving outcomes, we are reducing healthcare costs. And who doesn't love saving a little money? Let's talk about personalized medicine. It's like having a marriage suit made just for you. Except instead of fabric, we are talking about genes. Genetic counselors and molecular biologists are the fashion designers for the medical world, using bioinformatics instead of measuring tape to craft treatments that fits like a glove. And if you think personalized medicine is just a trend, think again. The global market is projected to hit 278 billion by 2026. That's a lot of marriage suit, or rather a lot of tailored treatments. So overall, from this agenda, what's the takeaway is healthcare innovation is a team sport. Whether it's developing new treatment, ensuring their safety, or tailoring them to diverse population, it takes collaboration across the board. And the best part, we are not just making life better, we are saving life. How cool is that? Now, on to our next agenda, why clinical research? So there are 5 different areas of my interest that I'm gonna explore for you. Making a difference. It's not just a job, it's a mission of a way to make a real difference in the world. Clinical research is like being on the front line of a battle against disease, and the victories here have real tangible outcomes. According to a study by the National Institute of Health, we call it as NIH. Clinical research has been like a superhero for medical treatment, boosting survival rates and leveling up the quality of life for patients by significant advancement in medical treatment. It signs with a serious upgrade, which is researcher. The second one under why clinical research is a spectrum of roles. In clinical research, there is a role for everyone. We can compare it with the orchestra, where every instrument has its unique part to play. Whether you are a study coordinator, data manager, or medical science liaison, the field has a spot just for you, tailored to your skill and expertise. Data managers are like the conductors, ensuring every note. They organize and analyze the mountains of data from clinical trials, making sure everything stays in harmony with integrity, quality, and confidentiality intact. Meanwhile, medical science liaisons, we call it as MSLs, are the bridge builders connecting pharmaceutical companies with healthcare providers. They are the go-to scientific experts, offering educational support, fostering research collaboration, and gathering those golden nuggets of insights from the field. So each role is vital to the success of clinical research, and together we create something truly impactful. And the next one is avenues for growth. Speaking of heroes, clinical research offers numerous paths for growth. Whether you are just starting or looking to climb the ladder, there is something for everyone. From clinical research coordinator to director of clinical operation, there is always another rung to search for. And the best part, you are never stop learning. According to a recent survey by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the demand for clinical research coordinator is projected to grow by 9% from 2020 to 2030, faster than the average for all occupations. So just remember, there is a lot of groundbreaking works happening around the world, and you could be a part of it. And the fourth topic under why clinical research is financial benefit. So now let's talk about one of the key motivators for most of us, the financial benefits. Who doesn't like the sound of that, right? Good news is companies in clinical research often invest in their employees. Like you would invest in a promising stock. They can mean covering costs for attending conferences, workshops, and obtaining those shiny certifications that not only boost your career prospects but also your earning potentials. Salaries in your field, salaries in our field can vary depending on where you are located. So if you are in a major city with sky high rents, don't worry, your salary will likely reflect that. And for those of you who love to rack up frequent flyers mile, roles like clinical research associates often involve travel, while jet setting across the country or even the world. Companies usually sweeten the deal with travel stipends and other perks as well. So whether you are saving for the dream vacation or just trying to keep up with your city's cost of living, clinical research has got you covered with that. And because I believe in investing in future of clinical research, hence even I started few specialized training programs that equip medical professionals with the skill and knowledge they need to excel in this dynamic field. It's like getting the best tool for the job, but in this case, the job is saving lives and advancing the life. So next up, let's talk about something we all know is crucial: continuous learning. In clinical research, There is a strong emphasis on maintaining a culture that values ongoing learning and professional growth. Think of it like upgrading your smartphone. You would not want to miss out on the latest features, right? The same goes for your career. This commitment to learning includes support for continuous education, access to professional development resources, and a constant push to stay updated with the latest industry advancement. For instance, did you know the FDA granted breakthrough therapy designation to 60 new treatments just last year? That's 60 more reasons to stay sharp and informed, because our field is always moving forward and we have got to keep up. We have got to keep up with it. So whether you're diving into a new certification, attending a workshop, or just keeping up with the latest research, remember that continuous learning isn't just encouraged, it's essential. It's what keeps us at the cutting edge of medical advancement and ensures we are always ready to take on the next challenge. So, on a whole, clinical research offers a profound opportunity to make a difference in lives of patients by contributing directly to the development of new treatment and therapies. With diverse roles tailored to various backgrounds and skill sets, the field provides avenues for personal and professional growth. The industry's continual evolution and demand for skilled professionals, coupled with the culture of continuous learning and financial benefits, make it an exciting career choice. I recommend considering a career in clinical research for those passionate about driving medical advancement and improving patient care. The third agenda of this session. Now let's talk about aligning your skill with roles in clinical research. This is like finding the perfect Netflix series. You need something that matches your vibe, whether you're into action, drama, or in our case, data management. The first one is clinical research coordinators. If you're the type who excels in clinical settings and loves patient interaction, maybe you are the go-to person for calming down a nervous friend or organizing a surprise party, then you might find your career position as a clinical research coordinator. In this role, you will be the ultimate liaison between research team and participants, ensuring trial runs smoother than your favorite Netflix series. When it comes to documentation system roles, now for those of you who get a thrill out of documentation and system related tasks, no judgment here. Some of us love a good spreadsheet, right? There are roles like clinical trial monitor, quality assurance manager, and clinical trial assistant. These positions are essential in maintaining the integrity and accuracy of clinical trials. You will be the guardian of the data, ensuring everything is in its rightful place, just like organizing your wardrobe by color, season, and mood. As a pharmacovigilance specialist, you will be leading the monitoring of safety of medication, ensuring patient safety is never compromised. Under specialized roles, are you the kind of person who loves crafting the perfect email or enjoys the art of precise documentation? Then you might be perfect for the role like medical writer or protocol developer. Your work will lay the foundation for successful trials, kind of like being the architect of the study. And for those who enjoy overseas things from start to finish, consider becoming a product manager. You will ensure that everything runs smoothly from development to delivery without any plot twist. Next one is of data and compliance. If you thrive on data management, perhaps you are the friend who always know exactly who paid what during a group dinner. Then roles like data entry specialist or regulatory compliance officer would be your calling. You will ensure that all the data collected during clinical trials is accurate and compliant with regulations. And for those who love navigating complex landscapes, clinical trial auditors and regulatory affairs specialists play a pivotal role in ensuring everything adheres to the rules, kind of like being the reference in the game of clinical trials. Under technical and patient focused roles, for our technically inclined folks, laboratory and pharmacy technicians provide the technical backbone for research. You will be handling the preparation and analysis of samples, making sure everything is ready for its big debut. And let's not forget the patient recruitment specialist, the matchmakers of clinical trial. Ensures that the right participants meet the right studies. Each of these roles is pivotal in driving healthcare innovations forward, offering exciting career paths that contributes to advancing medical knowledge and improved patient outcomes. Okay. So now we are in the fourth agenda. The major part comes here. Let's talk about spreading your wings and flying into the global opportunities in clinical research. Before you pack your bags, it's crucial to understand the necessary skills and certifications to secure your dream job. Think of it as a ultimate passport to success. The first one, good clinical practice. One essential area of knowledge is good clinical practice or GCP. GCP is like the golden rule book for clinical trials. Follow it and you will ensure the integrity of your research and the safety of participants. A widely recognized provider of GCP training is the National Institute on Drug Abuse or NIDA. Now don't let the name fool you. This isn't just for drug researchers. NIDA offers comprehensive courses covering all aspects of GCP, from informed consent to regulatory compliances. Earning your GCP certification, especially from a reputed institution like NIDA, is like getting VIP access to the global job market. So employers in clinical research prioritize candidates with GCP expertise because it shows you can conduct trials ethically and by the book. Remember, the book is not thicker than Harry Potter series. Anyone can complete it in 2 days. Okay, let's go country-wise regulatory authority. So next up we have the FDA Clinical Research Training Course. Whether you are just starting in the field or looking to expand your expertise, this course is must have for anyone serious about clinical research. It's like taking a master class with Kamal Hassan or Shah Rukh Khan in acting. Except instead of acting in your storm, you will be mastering the depth of clinical trials and regulatory requirements. And with the FDA's global presence, having their certification on your resume is like having a golden ticket in the world of clinical research. And remember, FDA isn't just a household name in the US, it's respected worldwide. And the next one lined up is of EMA. So don't think we have forgotten about our friends across the pond. The European Medical Agency, EMA, offers online training modules for Clinical Trial Information System or CTIS. This is like the European Union's centralized hub for clinical trials, where everything from submission to supervision happens. If you're planning to conduct research in Europe, Ireland or Norway, this training is essential. It's a one-stop shop for ensuring compliance and streamlining your clinical trial process across these regions. Okay. And now let's talk about certification. ACRP certification to be exact. The Association of Clinical Research Professionals has been gold standard in our industry for over 30 years. Think of it as the international star of clinical research certification. So let's break down the different certifications that the association provides. Starting with the ACRP certified professional. Just note these certification programs guys. This will be helpful for you. This ACRP certified professional. This covers all roles and activities within the clinical study team. Whether you are in data management, coordination or compliances, this credential shows you are a versatile pro. And the next one is the Certified Clinical Research Associate credential. Perfect for those who are pros at monitoring and supervising trials. Then we have the Certified Clinical Research Coordinator credential for those who can juggle multiple trial activities like a pro. The next one lined up is the Certified Principal Investigator credential, which is for those leading the charge, ensuring trials were conducted ethically and by the book. And the final one is the ACRP Project Management credential. This is for those who have mastered the art of project management in clinical trials. So, why are these certifications important? Well, ACRP certification is your golden ticket in the world of clinical research. Picture this, you are in a competitive job market where everyone's trying to stand out. What's going to set you apart? ACRP certification? It's like having a badge of honor that shouts, I'm top of your game. Employers around the globe recognizes ACRP credential as the gold standard for quality and professionalism. This recognition doesn't just pat you on the back, it opens door to new opportunities, whether you're looking to climb the ladder in your current organization or spread your wings internationally. But wait, there is more. Holding an ACRP certification isn't just about getting that dream job. It's about showing the world that you're committed to the highest ethical and scientific standards. In our industry, where the stakes involve the safety and well-being of human subjects and the integrity of scientific data, this commitment is everything. It's the difference between just doing a job and truly making a difference. And here's the cherry on a top. This certification gives you a deep, comprehensive understanding of regulatory requirements, both local and international level. As clinical research continues to go global, this knowledge is like having a GPS that guides you through the complex regulatory landscapes. Ensure you stay compliant no matter where your career takes you. So in conclusion, obtaining a ACRP certification is like investing in a high yield saving account. But instead of money, you are investing in your career and the future of clinical research. It arms you with the knowledge, skill and recognition you need to not just survive but thrive in this dynamic and rewarding field. And trust me, your future self will thank you. So on the conclusion, we have covered a lot today, from navigating the complex world of clinical research to aligning your skill with the right role and obtaining those all-important certifications. In conclusion, I urge each of you to consider the profound impact you can make in the field of clinical research. Whether you are a seasoned pro or just starting a journey, remember, your contribution matters. And with the right skill, certification and a dash of determination, you can help drive the future of healthcare forward. So, Thank you all for your participation today. Now I would like to open the floor for any questions you may have about clinical research.
Okay, so there are some questions in the chat box. I'll be reading them out to you.
Sure.
Okay. So the first question is how to apply for GCP certification.
Okay, you can just Google it. In Google itself, if you search for NIDA GCP course means, you can find the web portal, or even you can mail me. You would have found my mail ID at my initial slide. Or else you can even mail me so that I can share you the link directly to your mail. And believe me, this.
If you send me your mail, I'll copy that in the chat box as well, so they can access it anytime
you
they
can.
want.
Sure, you can. I shared my screen as well. It's like a module only. You will be having 10 set of module, I guess. So if you complete that, you will be getting the certificate, which you can complete within 2 days.
Okay. So the next question is, okay, Satyam has asked, I'm just curious, what's the best certificate for career in foreign lands?
Okay. As I said you before, this ACRP certification, obviously when it comes to global aspect, if you want to work in foreign or abroad, they will be expecting a experienced candidate. The reason is, you just think if you want to hire a person from abroad, for sure you will be expecting a experienced one, right? Because if you want a fresher, you can hire in your nearby itself. You don't want to go for the foreign. So because of that reason, they will be expecting experience for sure. And this ACRP certification you can do only if you have 2 to 3 years, mostly 2 years of experience will be fine for getting qualified for that exam. So at first, you should have a basic experience related to the clinical research and under which field you're gonna work in clinical research. If you have a basic experience, later you can apply for ACRP certification, and once if you crack it, it will be a easy key for you to fly abroad.
Okay, Arjuna has asked, I am currently working as a clinical pharmacologist. Is this experience, if this experience will help in getting job in clinical research department?
Yes. Still, you people would have come across this CROs. Under CROs, there is one separate designation. We term it as medical advisors. For every minor medical condition which occurs for a trial participant because of the drug which we may suspect, there we will be in need of a medical expert who should advise for that particular scenario. So in that case, you can check out the CROs, contract research organizations, where you can get a better job position later you're a pharmacologist.
Okay, so the next question is, Vivek Raj has asked, which are the free certification for abroad in clinical research?
Okay. So unfortunately, we can't get any free courses, but still GCP is an on-go course which we can do at any time, which is free of cost. Other than, there are few FDA courses. As I said you before, these CTIS course, there are few free courses from FDA which we can do, and we know US FDA is globally recognized. So if you have any course in that, especially the CTIS kind of courses, it will be helpful for you to fly abroad, but still there will be few more certifications you need to do. But this will be a preliminary level which will be helping you for starting your step into the global scale.
Okay, so Shubham has asked how to get the ACRP certification.
Okay. then again you can ping me to my mail so that I can share you the link. There is a separate portal for that. The images that I shown in this my slides were of from that portal only. You can apply easily through that portal, but the thing is there are few verifications that you want to do. Basic they'll be verifying your qualifications and all, and as per my knowledge that certification exam is not that competitive. You can crack it if you have a better knowledge with the experience. If you get a experience, you will get a knowledge about that. You can crack easily. If you need this portal link means you can ping me to my mail. I will share you.
So next, Satyam has asked, does internship in clinical research can help to get experience at a basic level? And if yes, then how can I apply for that?
Okay. The bitter truth is internship can give you experience on board, but the thing is it is not considered as a professional experience. All these certifications will be expecting the professional experience. Though you do internship during your graduation period, that will be considered as your basic knowledge which that reflects in this career. So if you do any internship means that will be far good to get a job, because at the initial level if any person did internship means they will be having a good knowledge in ground level. So in that case it will be easy for recruiters to select you. So internship will help you for sure, but when it comes to certification it should have a professional experience. Even I faced that issue, guys. Before starting my career, even I had 8 months of experience as an intern, but they didn't consider that. You should have a professional experience which you get after your graduation. That matters.
Alright, guys. So if you have any more questions, you can unmute yourself or you can ask in the chat box. Okay, so Vivek Raj has asked, I want to pursue Masters in Clinical Research in USA and I'm currently pursuing B Pharma. What are best courses I can do in my B Pharma?
Okay, after completing your B Pharma, doing MSc is fine. But MSc in Clinical Research, pursuing MSc in Clinical Research, so you want to invest few of finance in that. That matters. If you're okay with your finance, you can do your MSc in Clinical Research abroad. And US is the best option for that. You can see many clinical trials on board. So MSc in Clinical Research at US will be a better option for you.
Does anyone have any more questions? Yes, Satyam, you may unmute yourself.
Hi, Satyam.
The question is that if I want to apply for the internship in clinical research, what's the first step I can for myself? What's the first step? How can I apply and where should I apply?
Where should you apply for?
For clinical research? Which company or where? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. At first you should understand in which level you're gonna work. Whether you want to be in the hospital level or company level, you should fix that. After fixing the level you're gonna enter with, you can start searching in their career website. You can see lots of this one. And after applying in career website, my best suggestion is like you should go in person to that particular hospital or company and meet them in person. And if you get a chance to explain about your experience or the knowledge that aligns with that role, you can showcase yourself to them. And before getting into any interviews, I suggest you to do that GCP course. And if you are not into this NIDA GCP course also, at least you should be strong with the ICH GCP guidelines, E6 guidelines, we used to call it as E6 guidelines. If you are strong enough with that one, and if you're facing a interview means for sure you can crack your this one as well. And the thing I suggest is this one only. So at first you should check the career portal. More than checking with the LinkedIn and Naukri portals, you can check their tab. Even most of the companies, they will be posting their vacancies in LinkedIn and Naukri. If you find any such job that suits your skill and knowledge, you can directly Google search their career portal. For sure they will have posted the vacancy in the career page. So instead of applying in LinkedIn, which makes a third party to give your resume to that particular hospital or company, you can directly send your mail, this one, resume to the career portal, which will make them see instantly. So I prefer to do this one in career website only.
Okay, that is the Satyam. Okay, that is the end of the Q&A session. Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening session. From GCP guidelines to the significance of MBA, covered everything, and I think the participants also were very helped by this discussion. So thank you for answering all of their questions. If you, it has been I'm very great. I've been very delighted to host you. And if you wish to leave the meeting now, sir, then it is all right.
Okay, thank you, Bhumi and others for this wonderful opportunity. So even in future, if you have any doubt, means for sure you can ping me to my mail.
Sir, I've sent your email ID and your Instagram account in the chat, so they can reach out to me, the participants, if they have not copied it yet, and they can copy it. But in case they have any issues, they can reach out, and I'll directly send it to them.
Sure. Okay, thank you. You people are really rocking. Keep rocking.
Okay, so for the next session, I'll hand over the controls back to Atifa, my co-host. Atifa, are you there?
Yes, Bhumi, I'm there. One second. Before starting again, I'd like to inform all the attendees that a feedback form will be shared in the Teams chat box at the end of day 1 as well as on the day 2. Filling both forms and a minimum of 40-minute presence of each session is mandatory for a certificate eligibility. If you have any questions, you can put up in the chat box. Okay. We'll take a short break for our next speaker to come.
Can you please go to the next page? Yes. So what things we are going to see in this session are GCP, all the content in the GCP, whatever we have to get insights from the GCP guidelines. So introduction to GCP history and its need, objectives, and the current amendment in GCP, that is E6R3. Right now we are using E6R2 of GCP, but the E6R3 is also in making and available to the public opinions. So we are going to see the brief overview of GCP. Go to the next slide. See, if anyone having any problem during the entire discussion, you can open your mic and ask your questions. Is there any problem? Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So we are going to see the GCP in brief. So GCP is a very standard guidelines which provides what the integrity and rights, confidentiality of trial subjects, and which keeps the credibility and accuracy of the data of the trial. If we see the definition of the GCP, it is the International Ethical and Quality Standard design conduct for the design, conduct, performance monitoring, auditing, recording, analysis and reporting of clinical trials that give the credibility and accuracy of data of the trial subjects and maintain the rights, integrity and confidentiality of the trial subjects. So by the definition, it is the international level guidelines which keeps the credibility and accuracy of the data and also maintains the rights and integrity of the patients or the trial participants. Go to the next slide. Okay. For the brief knowledge of the GCP and to understand the need of GCP, we have to go into the history of GCP. So, why GCP came into the existence, how GCP made, all this starts from the Nazi experiment that was happens during the World War II by the German Nazi regime on the prisoners in the World War II. It was happened during 1942 and to 1945. So, in these experiments, the prisoners in the Nazi was experiments to the new clinical trial drugs without their consent, and it was brutally experienced to the new drugs by the German Nazi regime. It was series of controversial medical experiments. So there was not any provision of willingness or freely participation of the clinical trial subjects. So the experiments of Nazi experimentations results in the disfigurements or the permanent disabilities in the participated prisoners. So this leads to the immediate need for the regulations to the clinical trials or the new experimentation to the drugs. So it was the basic event which started the need of GCP or the guidelines that should be regulated the clinical trials worldwide. So go to the next slide. Following the Nazi experiments, there was a strong belief throughout the scientists or throughout the clinical trials professionals that the regulations should be made. So the development of the Nuremberg Code for medical ethics was developed. Two American scientists, Dr. Leo Alexander and Dr. Andrew Conway, developed a list of 10 points that we called a Nuremberg codes for the research of new drugs into the patients or participants in the study of. So following the Nazi experiment, it was Nuremberg code that gives 10 points or 10 regulations for conducting the clinical trials or new experimentations in participants. That strongly includes that participants in the study should have been participate after their willingness only. So go to the next slide. Nuremberg Code came into existence in 1947 after the Nazi experiment that was happened in 1945. Then following the Nuremberg Code, there was a Declaration of Helsinki Declaration of Helsinki is considered as the very basic structure of GCP. So there was a set of ethical principles regarding human participation developed for medical community by World Medical Association in 1964. The Helsinki came into existence in 1964. It is considered as a cornerstone document for human research ethics. And from the basics of Helsinki, Declaration of Helsinki, the GCP was formed. So this is the history to the GCP, from Nazi experiment to the Declaration of Helsinki. Go to the next. So, need of the GCP guidelines. So, why we should regulate the clinical trials or experimentation of the new drugs in human subjects? So, historically, there was a lot of events which leads to disfigurements or permanent disabilities or deaths of the human participants in the clinical trials, like thalidomide tragedy, elixir sulfonilamide tragedy in 1937 and thalidomide tragedy in 1960. These historic events use the need of a regulation of clinical trials. So the regulation of clinical trials or guidelines leads to the scientific and accurate data of the clinical trials, and also provides assurance to the right safety and well-being of the patients participating in the studies. So this is how we develop the regulations for the clinical trials or the studies that needs the human participations. Next slide. So this is the basic thing or the basic GCP guidelines we are going to see. So these are the chapters of GCP. In GCP guidelines, which are E6 Arth 2, these are the chapters of GCP. We have already seen the history of GCP, need of GCP, and this is actual GCP. In these guidelines, we could see the 8 chapters from glossary to the essential documents. We are going to see the chapters one by one. Next slide. The first chapter or first objective of the GCP is the brief introduction to the terms used in the clinical trial, like adverse events, sponsor audit, clinical trial safety reports, informed consent, etc. Like if we take a confidentiality that we used in clinical trials, the GCP guidelines define the confidentiality in its glossary as prevention of disclosure to other than authorized individuals of the sponsor's proprietary information or the subject identity. This is how the GCP define the terms used in clinical trials on the daily basis in its glossary. Due to the shortage of time, we cannot see all the terms, but all the terms are given in glossary of the GCP. Like 65 terms are given with their brief definition and introduction. Next. See, if you are not getting anything, or if you think that I'm not explaining the terms in very detail, or you're not getting anything, you can raise your you can unmute yourself and say me something. I'm feeling like I'm talking alone. If anything is getting wrong, you can suggest me something.
So they have posted some questions in the chat box.
Yeah, we can answer the questions after our session. There are no
Yes.
questions.
So you may continue.
So the second objective of the GCP is principles of ICH GCP. This is the most important objective of the GCP. So if you are professional in clinical research, or you have studied something about clinical research, you must have gone through the 13 principles of the GCP. So we will see the 13 principles very briefly, but this is how you can learn them, all of them. Like first principle is ethical principles, then risk benefits, subject protection, adequate data, protocol, EC, medical care of the subjects, staff qualification and training, then informed consent, record keeping, confidentiality of the participants, IP, and quality assurance of the data. So we will see all the principles very briefly. You can go to the next slide. So first principle of the GCP says that the clinical trial should be conducted in accordance with the ethical principles of the regulatory requirements, or the ethical principles given in the Helsinki. These ethical principles maintains the right, safety and well-being of the patients, and also accuracy of the data given in the trial or studies. So second principle of the GCP, which provide the risk and benefit status of the participation in the study. In third principle, the trial subjects safety, rights and well-being should be prevented, or third principle is right, safety and well-being of the trial subjects, and it should be confidential. Next. Then there is a fourth principle. The available non-clinical and clinical information of investigational product should be adequate and to support the proposed clinical trial. The data available on the IP should be adequate to explain to principal investigators or the co-investigators of the clinical trials. Then the clinical trial should be scientifically sound and described in clear, detailed protocol. The fifth principle of the GCP is protocol, which should be scientifically sound and clear. That should be submitted and approved before the starting of the clinical trial. Then there is an institutional review board, also independent ethics committee or ethics committee. This should look after the patient's safety and well-being. Then seventh principle of the ICH GCP, that is the medical care or the medical decisions of the human participations should be taken care of by PI or the co-investigators involved in the study, who are the qualified staff and are responsible for the medical decisions of the subject. Next. Eighth principle of the GCP says each individual involved in the conducting trial should be qualified by education, and the training should be given to the staff involved in the study, from principal investigator to the clinical research coordinators involved in the studies. They should be qualified and trained to perform their delegated duties. Then the ninth principle, which is very important principle of the GCP, it is the informed consent. The trial participation should be only after the informed consent process, and the participation of the trial subject should be willing. Then it comes to the record keeping, that is the 10th principle of the ICH GCP. The clinical trial information should be recorded, handled, and stored in a way that allows accurate reporting, interpretation, and verification. After accurate reporting, interpretation, and verification of the clinical trial data, it should be stored and recorded. Then 11th principle of the GCP, that is confidentiality of the trial subjects and recorded clinical trial data. Next. Then the 12th principle of the ICH GCP, that is investigational product. The IP should be manufactured according to the GMP, that is good manufacturing practice, and should be used in accordance with the approved protocol. Whatever the schedule given in the protocol should be followed up for the administration of the investigational product. So 13th principle is quality assurance systems with procedures that assure the quality of every aspect of the trial should be implemented. So these are 13 principles of the ICH GCP which should be followed during the conduct of the clinical trial. So next is EC or IRB. EC, Ethics Committee or Institutional Review Board. So the two types of EC are Independent and Institutional Ethics Committee. Independent Ethics Committee works apart from the hospital or the institution, which looks after the multiple clinical trials. And the Institutional Ethics Committee is attached to the hospital or the institution, which looks after the clinical trials involved in the hospital or the institution. See, there is a regulation that one IRB can look after the clinical trials or can approve the clinical trials within the 30-kilometer area of their address. So, by the definition, Ethics Committee is the medical, scientific and non-scientific, constitute of the medical, scientific and non-scientific members whose responsibility is to ensure protection of the rights, safety and well-being of the human subjects involved in the trial. The function of the Ethics Committee is reviewing, approving and providing continuous review of the trial protocol and amendments and the methods and material to be used in the study. So in GCP, there are 4 regulations or guidelines given for IRB or EC. These are responsibilities of the GCP IRB, then composition, function and operations of the IRB, and procedures involved in functioning of the IRB that should be mentioned in the SOP of the IRB, and the record keeping by the EC or IRB. These are the guidelines provided for EC or IRB by the GCP. We cannot go after all the guidelines. We cannot see the guidelines in detail because of the shortage of time. But these are the regulations given to EC or IRB by GCP. So we are seeing GCP, then these are the 4 regulations given for EC. Next. Then next is investigator. So in GCP guidelines, after Ethics Committee, the brief regulations for the investigator are given. By definition, investigator is the solely responsible for conduct of the clinical trial at the trial site. If the trial is conducted by a team or individuals at trial site, the investigator is responsible leader of the team and may be called principal investigator. If there is a 2 or more individuals looking after the trial, the investigator is called principal investigator, who is solely responsible for conduct of the clinical trial at the trial site. Then comes sub-investigator or co-investigator, which is a member of clinical trial team designated and supervised by investigator. So this is the investigator and co-investigator. Then let's see the guidelines given by GCP to the investigator. So there are 4 basic guidelines given by GCP to the investigator. First is qualification. The investigator should be qualified by education, training and experience to conduct the given clinical trial or clinical study. He should be trained for the conduct of the study and should be well qualified or experienced to the clinical trials. Then adequate resources at the trial site. There should be sufficient time. There should be sufficient time to the principal investigator for looking after the clinical trials and clinical trial subjects, and the investigator should have the potential for recruiting the required number of suitable subjects within the agreement or recruiting period. The number of trial staff required for the conduct of the clinical trial should be adequate at the trial site. This is the responsibility of the investigator to look after the staff and the adequate resources required for the study. So this is the second guideline given by GCP to the investigator. Next. Third is the medical care of trial subjects, which is also 7th GCP principle, that the medical decisions of the trial subjects should be taken by qualified staff that are which are investigator and co-investigator. Then fourth is communication with IRB or EC. So this is also a responsibility of principal investigator to communicate with the EC or IRB and their requirements, regulatory requirements. Then compliance with the protocol. The investigator should look after the study in compliance with the protocol only and should not deviate the protocol requirements. The 6th guideline is the investigational product. The investigational product handling should be the responsibility of handling, and accountability should be responsibility of the principal investigator at the site. Again, the 7th guidelines given by GCP to the investigator is the randomization procedure and unblinding. So in blinded and unblinded studies, the randomization procedure of the clinical trial participants should be done by principal investigator or the co-investigators involved in the study. Next, these are the regulations or guidelines given by GCP to the investigators in the GCP guidelines. So there are 13 different regulations given by GCP guidelines to the investigator, and we have seen 7 of them. 8th is the informed consent. Taking informed consent from trial subjects is also a responsibility of principal investigator. And record and reports, progress reports and safety reporting is also a responsibility of principal investigator to report the records to EC or IRB or the regulatory authorities. Then progress reports to make the progress reports of the study, and then safety reporting after 6 months or in between 6 months of the clinical trials. Then premature termination or suspension of the trial. If principal investigator is observing multiple ADRs or essays in the study, or with any other reason, is the responsible for premature termination or suspension of clinical trial, or he can suspend the clinical trial or can do the premature termination of the clinical trial. Then the final report by the investigator. At the end of the study, the investigator should prepare a final report of the trial data or subject participated in the study and should submit to the EC or regulatory authorities. These are the guidelines or regulations given by GCP guidelines to the investigator. We have seen the history, Then we have seen the need of GCP. We have seen what is GCP, then principles of GCP. After principles of GCP, we have seen the how GCP guidelines regulated the EC, or what guidelines GCP has given to the EC. Then investigator, what guidelines GCP has given to the investigator. So we are talking about GCP, good clinical practice. So chapter 8, sponsor. Sponsor again is the very important part of what clinical trials. By definition, sponsor is an individual, company, institution or organization which takes responsibility for initiation, management and financing of a clinical trial. Who is responsible for initiation and conducting of clinical trial? So what guidelines given by GCP to the sponsor? Let's see. So first is quality management. The sponsor should implement a system to manage quality throughout all stages of trial process. It's sponsor's responsibility according to GCP to implement the quality of clinical trial throughout the sites. Then second guidelines to sponsor is quality assurance and quality control. The sponsor is responsible for implementing and maintaining quality assurance and quality control systems with written SOPs to ensure that the trials are conducted and data are generated. The credibility of the data should be maintained by SOPs, written SOPs from the sponsor, and regular QA/QC audits of the trial data should be done by the sponsors. Then the third responsibility or the regulation given by GCP to the sponsor is hiring of the contract research organization. Sponsor can transfer all or any of the sponsor's trial related duties to the CRO. So this is also regulation given in the GCP that sponsor can transfer its duties or its responsibilities to the CRO to conduct a clinical trial and look after the functioning of the study. Next. Then medical expertise. The sponsor should designate appropriately qualified medical personnel who will be readily available to advise on trial related medical questions or problems. These are MSL, medical scientific agents or medical advisors by the sponsors. To sites or for the sites or CROs who should be available for advice on trial related medical questions or IP related medical questions to investigators, co-investigators or any other study staffs. Then trial design. Sponsor is responsible for designing of the trial and designing of protocol and SOPs that should be followed for conducting the given clinical trial. Then trial management, data handling and record keeping. Then investigator selection. Throughout the investigators, its sponsors duty or sponsors responsibility that he should select a well qualified and experienced or the principal investigator who should who could recruit the number of participants in the study. These are seven of the guidelines given by GCP to sponsor. Next. Then these are other guidelines like allocation of responsibilities, compensation to the subjects after essays, and financing, notifications to the regulatory authorities before, during and after the clinical trials. Then confirmation of review by IRB or IEC. This is also a responsibility of sponsor. And information on IP that should be provided by medical advisors or MSLs during the conduct of clinical trials to the site or any other persons. Then manufacturing and packaging of IP by GMP is also a sole responsibility of sponsor. Then supplying and handling of IP and record access. Next. Then safety information. The sponsor is responsible for ongoing safety evaluation of the investigational product. So sponsor cannot transfer its duty on the IP to the CRO. Sponsor is solely responsible for the ongoing safety evaluation of the investigational product. So then ADR reporting, monitoring, audit, non-compliance reporting, premature termination, CSRs, and managing and following after multi-center trials. These are the guidelines given in the GCP for sponsor. So after EC, principal investigator, we have seen the guidelines or regulations given in the good clinical practice GCP guidelines for sponsor. Next. So let's see how GCP have regulated the trial protocol or the amendments in the protocol. So by definition, the protocol is the document that describe objective design, methodology, statistical considerations, and organization of the trial. Protocol is usually also gives background and rationale of the trial, but this could be provided in other protocol reference documents. So this is how protocol can be defined. Then amendments to the protocols after or in between conducting of the study. Our protocol amendments are written descriptions of changes to or formal clarification of the protocol. These are amendments made after designing of the basic protocols. These should be amended. The protocol can be amended throughout the conduction of the clinical trial. So let's see the guidelines given in the GCP for protocol. Next slide. Okay. So this is what protocol is. Then investigator's brochure. It is the compilation of clinical and non-clinical data on IP. In investigator brochure, the information of clinical and non-clinical information on IP is provided to site staff, investigators by CROs or sponsors. So let's see the what are the things involved in the investigator brochure. Next slide. So in GCP guidelines, these are the contents given for investigator brochure. This should be involved in IP to provide adequate information on investigational product to the site or required clinical trial personnels. So the confidentiality statement, signature page, that is protocol signature pages, then contents of the IP, then summary of the IP, introduction, physical, chemical and pharmaceutical properties and formulation of the investigational product, then non-clinical studies of the investigational product before clinical studies, the data on non-clinical studies of the clinical investigational product should be given in the IP. Then its effect in human subjects, like pharmacological effects and toxicological effects in human subjects during the clinical trials, and marketing experience if the investigational product is already marketed, and the summary of data and guidelines for the investigator to handle the investigational product. So in brief, the investigational brochure provides data on investigational product. So this is how investigational brochure should be designed by GCP guidelines. Next. So according to GCP, what are the essential guidelines involved in the clinical trials? We cannot see here all the documents involved in the clinical trial. It's another it's another basic chapter, or it should be informed in another session, detailed session. But let's see the phases in clinical trial. Let's see the periods in the clinical trials in which the essential documents are used. The essential documents by definition are those documents which individually and collectively permit evaluation of the conduct of trial and quality of the data produced. So let's see what essential documents are involved in clinical trials. So in three phases or three phases, the clinical documents are required. Before clinical phase of the trial document commences, during the trial conduct, and after completion of the termination of the trial. So during planning or before starting of the clinical trial, the document should be generated and should be on file before the trial formally starts. Example, we already have seen the investigator's brochure, where all the information, including non-clinical, clinical profile of the IP, pharmacological, toxicological data of IP and human data of human subjects, and signed protocols, sample case report forms, etc. should be prepared before the starting of the clinical trials. There are various documents involved in this which should be prepared before starting of the clinical trial, that should be submitted to the regulatory authorities and institutional or independent ethics committees before starting of the trial at particular sites. Then documents involved in clinical trials during the clinical conduct of the study. So in addition to having on file the above documents, the document should be added to the file during the trial as evidence that all new relevant information is documented as it becomes available. So these include the documents that are generated or the reports that are generated during the conduct of the clinical trial, like signed informed consent forms, source documents, monitoring visit reports, lab reports, or logs involved in the clinical trials. These are all the documents that are generated during the conduct of the study. So there are various documents again involved in conducting of the study. Then the trial documents that comes after the completion of the or termination of the trial. These are clinical study reports, then closeout monitoring reports that should be generated after the completion of the trial. All the documents identified in sections above should be in the file together with these documents. So documents that are generated before the trial or during the conduction of the trial and after the termination of the trial should be documented in for particular trials. So these are particularly three phases where the documentation is should be kept according to the GCP. Then now already we are following the GCP E6 R2, but the R3 is also drafted and under public consultation from May 2023. You can go and search for E6 R3. You can see the drafted document of GCP, where all the guidelines we have already seen are given in R3, and also some new amendments are also given in R3. So there are a lot of amendments you can see on internet, but right now we are using GCP E6 R2, and E6 R3 is also under consultation. So in GCP we have seen briefly the history of GCP, need of GCP. In history we have seen how need of the GCP was started from Nazi experiment, then how Nuremberg Code was come into existence, then Declaration of Helsinki, on the basis of which the GCP guidelines came into development, and we are following GCP guidelines. Then we have seen how GCP guidelines are given for EC, principal investigator, sponsor, then important guidelines for IB, investigation browser. So this is GCP in brief. These 8 chapters concludes the GCP guidelines. So anybody have any question, you can ask.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening session and guiding us all for with GCP, its principle, guidelines, objectives, and many more. Now, I would ask you to kindly answer the doubts of our audience. I'll be reading them out to you.
Yes.
We have a question from Harshada Jadhav. So actually, while doing with PharmD, is we have to done with this specialized certificate and course currently if we have to career in this field. So
Okay,
this is the question.
specific certification courses in clinical research after pursuing PharmD.
Yes.
This is the so we already have seen the clinical research subjects in our 5th year, 4th year and 5th year. There is no need for theory knowledge, but for practical and some other additional knowledge, you can get the certification course. There are many insights you could get from the certification courses, but at the same time, there is no immediate need to do the certification course. If you are getting some opportunities without that certification courses, you can go for it. But if you are not getting opportunities, or you feel like you have to more skilled and more informed about clinical research, then you can go for certification courses. Otherwise, there is no immediate need for PharmD graduates to go for certification courses. But it could help for many graduates to get particularly some jobs. Like many companies have opened their job profiles for the students having certification courses in clinical research. But for PharmD peoples, you already have the knowledge. But if you feel that you want to get some more skills and more knowledge, you can do. Otherwise, there is no immediate.
Thank you, sir. Now we have Satyam Kumar. His question is, for as BPharm student, how can I reach the certificate? I am third year student, so any guidelines?
third year student of B Farm, how can you get the certificate?
Yes, sir.
So there are many certificates. If you want to get knowledge only, you can do IC GCP certificates. Already the speaker before me was discussing about it. You can go for NIDA certification. You will get it on internet. Then IC certification. There are modules in these certification courses, and these are free. If you are in third year, you can do that. But after your graduation, you want particular certification courses, right? Before this question, I already have answered about certification courses. But as a B Farm graduate, you could go for certification courses, and as a third year student, you could go for IC GCP course or the NIDA GCP courses available on the internet for the good knowledge of GCP or clinical trials. NIDA GCP course and IC GCP courses available on the internet. You could go for it.
Okay, sir. So we have Bhumi. She has put up a question. Can you tell how you began your journey as a clinical researcher?
How I began my journey. Okay. So firstly, I came to know about clinical research very early because of many of our seniors go into clinical research, and the job fields available for me, particularly as a PharmD student, the clinical research is what is very attractive, or one thing that many seniors are going for. So I look for certification courses. Rightly, I said. Then I joined the hospital as a clinical research interns, CRCs or clinical research coordinator, and I get into this clinical research. But I haven't done any certification courses. Like I said, if you feel you already have a good knowledge of GCP, then there is no need of courses. You can go directly for the clinical research or entry level jobs in clinical research.
Thank you, sir. Now we have Shirin, who has asked, Sir, what are the key components of a risk-based monitoring strategy as per Indian GCP guidelines?
Sorry?
What are the key components of a risk-based monitoring strategy as per Indian GCP guidelines?
What are risk-based monitoring strategy?
Yes,
Key
sir.
components of risk-based monitoring strategy.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We-
Sir, regarding data integrity and quality assurance, sir.
Yes. So this is question. What are key components?
Yes, sir. This is a question.
Sorry, I cannot answer this. I'm not sure with these components.
No issue, sir. One last question from Sheikh Sumaya. How are technological advancements such as AI and digital tools impacting the implementation of GCP?
How are AI and digital tools impacting the implementation of GCP?
Yes, sir.
As of my knowledge, I haven't seen anything like intervention of AI or digital tools, but there are many CROs using some softwares for tracking of conduct of clinical trials to maintain the source documents and to maintain the visits, to maintain the regulation on visits of the trial subjects. But as far as I know, for protocol implementation, there is no particular tool I have seen already. Whatever I have seen, there is no particular tool or AI used in protocol implementation. Maybe there are some tools or any advancements, but I haven't seen any of them. So
Okay, sir. With this, we end Q&A session here. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your time and guiding us.
thank you.
Thank you. So you may leave if you want. Now we'll be circulating a feedback form. Everybody is requested to fill that form. We'll be giving 10 minutes for the same. Thank you.